Real quick before we dive into this video, I want to let you all know that my entire store is on sale for 50% off until Monday, March 20th. Use code 50OFF for 50% off your entire order. First, I want to apologize if the audio for this video is awful. I don't have any other camera to record this on, so I'm using my iPhone. But let's just quickly dive into the settings that I use for my a6300. So in the Sony menu setup, it's a lot of things that you can personally personalize for yourself and to your liking. And I'm not going to go through those things. I'm just going to go through the things that personally matter in terms of video. So let's quickly go into this. Let's just go over to the first page. And as I said, we're just gonna go through the necessities. All this right here is photography settings. File format is subjective. For me personally, if I'm filming a performance shot for a music video, I'll do 24 frames per second at 4K. And if I wanna do slow motion shots, I'll go down and I'll do either 120 frames per second or 60 frames per second. Next thing that we're gonna get into that's kind of sort of important is my personal favorite focus area that I like to use when I'm doing autofocus. I like to do zone, and I'll use the autofocus drive speed all the way at fast and the track sensitivity at normal. Next thing we're gonna get into is my personal favorite picture profile settings that I do use pretty much all the time. And I don't go by the PP settings like a lot of people do, like PP7 or whatever, but I'll just go into whatever one I'm on. And if you push right, you can just personally personalize that. So I like to use S-Log2 for pretty much everything else, pretty much everything that I film on this, and everything else is pretty much set to the standard S-Log2 settings. But my color mode that I like to use is S-Gamut, and as I said, all these other things are pretty much set to whatever they're set to when you pick S-Log2. My saturation is at 0. Color phase at 0, color depth at pretty much 0, and everything else. Detail is set to 0 as well. Also, the metering mode that I like to use if I do plan on using auto ISO or auto exposure for like vlogging and stuff like that is set to multi. High frame rate option is set to manual if I plan on using 120 frames per second. And the high frame rate option is the only way to get slow motion playback on the 6300. Color space is set to RGB, audio levels, all this other things right here, subjective things. My memory settings are set to photography, so I'm not gonna show you all those. Next thing we're gonna get into is the real movie settings. So for my zebras, I personally like to have mine at 100, manual focus assist on, marker displays on, and the marker settings that I do use all the time is center off and aspect. I like to do 185/1. If you don't know what this is, it's basically these two white lines right here. And what these allow me to do is crop my image and make sure it's framed right for when I go to add my letterbox images in post. Audio level displays on, of course. My peaking level settings are set to mid. And the color that I like to use for my peaking settings is red. Next thing we're gonna get into that's pretty important that I use all the time that a lot of people don't even know exists or what it does is Gamma Display Assist. So Gamma Display Assist, basically if you don't know what it is, it provides you with a real-time preview of your image in a standard picture profile. So say you were filming your shot in S-Log3 and you wanted to see how it would possibly look in like a standard profile to make it easier for you to expose it. You can turn the Gamma Display Assist on, and they have two different modes on here. You can do auto, you can do S-Log2, and you can even do S-Log3. So for instance, let's just check on S-Log2, which is what I use all the time. And this is a shot that I shot a few days ago on a music video set. And as you can see, it's very contrasty, and now the saturation is up on it. So it's just like a real-time preview of it in standard. And you see this while you're filming it, and it just films in S-Log2. So this is just a preview. And let's just check this exact same shot out with the Gamma Display Assist off. So you can see that we are actually filming in S-Log2, and your image is actually flat still. So let's just take the Gamma Display Assist off and view that same shot. And as you can see, it's flat and it's dark, and you really see how it actually is shot. So Gamma Display Assist is pretty convenient. I use it all the time. It makes it easy for me to expose my image when I'm shooting. And it gives me a real-time preview of what that exact same shot will look like in a standard profile. I think that's pretty much it, man. Like a lot of these other things, as I said, are just all personal customization things for personal preference. None of these other things really improve the quality of video work that you're doing. I showed you the things that I changed to personally improve what I'm doing and just my personal preference on those things. So if you like this video, make sure to drop me a like. Also comment if I didn't go over something that you would like me to go over. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. And I'm gonna check y'all out on my next video. Peace.